I'm very I did not just drop that palette. Did I just? I really just did that. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Jashaydee. You guys know I don't play in a lot of color or in a lot of like eyeshadow for that matter at all on my channel. You guys know when I do these, it's like something new is coming out or I'm just like having a moment playing in color. I'm going to be using the brand new Anastasia Primrose Palette, and this guy is so hyped up right now. It's being raved about. Anastasia completely went a different route when creating this palette. Here are some of the other ones that I have. So when they came out with this one, I was like, okay, that's a no-brainer. I have to get my hands on it. I do have a couple of the like OG palettes. Like this one is so old, but I refuse to get rid of it. It's one of my favorite palettes, and it has one of my favorite blues in it, the World Traveler palette. If you know, you know. And this has the prettiest blue eyeshadow in it. I cannot let this palette go. It will be in my collection forever. I don't care if it's expired. If I ever need a blue eyeshadow, I always go to this palette. This is like a collector's item. I will never let it go. I have the Carly Bible eyeshadow palette. This guy was also a very pretty palette as far as like packaging is concerned. A lot of the Anastasia palettes, they have like a funny exterior to them, so I appreciate when they come out with something that I can easily clean. The Jashaydee Aaliyah palette, I actually have a video using this palette on my channel, and this palette is so pretty because the same way it like reflects on the outside, she has a shade inside the palette that is exactly like that. It's called Sponsored, and I actually used this color in an eye tutorial on my channel. I have the Modern Renaissance, and then I have the Soft Glam. I think there's a palette in between here somewhere that I'm missing, but honestly with eyeshadows, I don't use eyeshadow a lot, so I just go for the ones that I know I'm gonna actually use and get use out of, because not all of them are like worth the buy. I don't know. When it comes to like color palette and stuff, the Soft Glam is definitely way more up my alley. It has a little bit more like neutrals in it. The Modern Renaissance was just one of those palettes that when it came out, like if you didn't have it, who were you? Like if you didn't have this palette, like, do you know makeup? Anything Amrezy, like I'm probably gonna buy it, whether it's her highlighters or anything that she really comes out with. I believe she is the original person that came out with like the first ever Anastasia eyeshadow palette. This is what hers looks like as well. The Glow Kit, that Glow palette, and then I also have the OG. If you know anybody on YouTube and you do makeup or you're into makeup at all or into vlogs, anything like that, you know exactly who Nicole Guerriero is. And I've had this palette probably since, wow, maybe since I was 21. I was in college when I got this palette, and this is actually my second one. My first one, it like shattered all over the place, but I still have that one as well. I just didn't throw it away because why would I? I haven't really been doing highlighter, but when it comes to this palette, every time I bring it out, I'm like, why did I stop using this again? It is stunning. Look at that. Stop it. You cannot tell me that that's not an amazing highlighter. As far as size comparison in the new palette compared to the other palettes, obviously the other palettes don't have blushes in them. I really appreciate a really good blush, and you guys will see at the end of the video when I put this blush on, baby, I was feeling it. I was literally like obsessed with it. I actually put on the grapefruit first because I wanted to see how it would blend out before I put the saddle on, and then I just went gung-ho and I just put a whole bunch of saddle on, which is why right now I'm giving real terracotta autumn Starbucks in hand vibes right now. But I literally love how this shade looks as far as a blush. I think it looks so pretty. These actual eyeshadows are actually almost doubling in size. These are 1.44 grams. The other eyeshadows weigh 0.7. So these eyeshadow pans are pretty big if you're comparing it to any of the other palettes. I don't mind less shades if that means I'm getting 2 blush shades. It just has like this nice texture on the outside. It's giving girly vibes, and I always appreciate Anastasia for like the little details. I'm gonna jump straight into today's video. I'm not gonna ramble on any further, baby girl is on her way, so stay tuned for a couple more vlogs. Baby shower's on the way, and I have some more goodies for the moms coming up. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and stay tuned if you want to see how I got today's look. I'm hyped about today's look if you haven't noticed, so I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Stay tuned. I do already have the majority of my makeup on. I just left some setting powder underneath my eyes just in case the palette has any fallout. And I am gonna actually be doing a little bit of a shimmer today, so I'm really excited. The palette is absolutely stunning. So since it is October and we're getting into those fall vibes, I wanted to create a really pretty, really subtle, because you guys know I don't do anything crazy with my eyes literally ever. But these colors are literally right up my alley. Today I'm not going to be doing a purple look, but I definitely want to do that in the next video. First shade I'm going to dip into is going to be this shade right here. It is called Honey. This I'm going to utilize as my transition shade. By the way, my eyes, I did prime them. I have some concealer on them and a little tiny bit of setting powder. I'm going to dive into is the shade right here. This is called Saddle. This is actually one of the 2 blushes, but I'm going to use it in my crease as well, just to build it up and give it a little bit more of a warm undertone, because the look that I want to do, it's a little bit more warm. You guys, when I tell you, you barely have to touch this palette. I don't know if you can see it, but I barely put my brush on it, and it's so pigmented. So I'm gonna first lay this out where I want it, and I sort of want it to blend right in where I put the transition shade Honey, and I'm just gonna lay it down ever so slightly above that. Color laid down where I want it, so I'm just going to take this clean blending brush and I'm just going to blend that out. Popping down into the bottom of the palette, and I'm going to use the shade Rouge, and this shade is basically what I'm going to use kind of in the corner. I'm also really feeling this deep berry shade right here, so we might dip into that guy. Like I said, make sure you're tapping off the excess, because when I tell you guys, pigment, like, I wish I was lying, but I'm not. I'm gonna go into the shade Fire Opal, and I'm gonna use my finger to actually do it. Guys, I'm literally barely touching it. So much pigment. You don't need a lot when you're using this palette whatsoever. How good this shimmer looks. It is absolutely stunning. Like, what? This looks so freaking good. I'm literally obsessed. Make sure you're blending out your edges, but also like not going into the shimmer, because you don't want the shimmer to be all the way like at the end of your eye. You want to keep it for the most part on your lid. I'm going back into the palette, and I'm going to take the shade Saddle, and I'm going to go in right up under my eyes. I went in and I did up under like my waterline, I'm going to just take this fluffy brush. I think this is from e.l.f. This is the e.l.f. blush brush, and I'm just taking this and I am gonna wipe away the rest of my setting powder that I had put there to catch like any fallout. Lashes are on, and I'm literally obsessed with how this looks. They like outdid themselves with these eyeshadows. I'm going back into the palette yet again, and I'm going to try out the two blushes. I feel like because I'm going with that more terracotta autumn leaves kind of vibe, I should definitely use the shade Saddle, but I just don't want it to act against my bronzer. I'm gonna take this Morphe M528 brush, and I'm first gonna go in with the pink. You don't have to dip a lot. So the same way the eyeshadows are formulated is basically how the blushes are also formulated. They are very, very pigmented. This reminds me of the one KKW blush that I have. Yes, blush come through. Okay, obviously we need to blend it out, but this looks so good. I'm actually gonna come over the bridge of my nose. I may or may not have just found my new blush for the fall. I'm probably really overdoing it, but I love how this looks. And then I'm gonna also go back in with my original bronzer brush, my bronzer brush, and I'm going to literally tap into my bronzer and we're gonna blend it out. Lastly, I'm gonna take my Morphe setting spray and we're just gonna spray our entire face. Alright you guys, so this is the final look. This is how everything came out. I am so pleasantly, not surprised, but I'm so pleased with everything in this palette. Like I said, it does have quite a bit of fallout. So when you're using this palette, you just want to make sure you're lightly tapping. You don't need a lot of product. If you are a fall girl, this is the blush for you. It is absolutely stunning. Honestly, you don't even need to go in with the pink underneath. Like when I do my makeup next time, I'm just gonna go straight in with Saddle. So just to clarify, the shade Saddle here is considered a blush, not a bronzer. They also do have this bronzer, and this is also in the shade Saddle, but as you can see, they are definitely two completely different colors. But just to clarify, I just wanted you guys to know that they are two completely different shades. I haven't been excited about an eyeshadow palette in a very long time. I think it's great that they came out with something a little different, considering like all of their palettes are sort of the same. I love the outside of the palette. It's so pretty, easy to clean, and they just did that. Like this is exactly what I was thinking of when I was thinking of like what look I should do and keeping it, you know, real autumn vibes. Something cute, something simple that girls who really don't do their eye makeup like me, I don't do a lot to my eyes, but this is something simple enough. I used what, 3 or 4 shades, and it looks so good. Like we look like we put so much effort into this look, and we really didn't. I'm really, really vibing with this. I think I'm gonna get a lot of use out of this. Obviously, I give birth very, very soon. I definitely see myself dipping into this palette more than what I originally thought I would. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me do this makeup look today, and I hope you guys enjoyed one of my OG like videos doing makeup again on my channel. I've been doing a lot of vlogs, a lot of mommy-ish things on my channel, so I hope you guys enjoyed me taking it back to what I love, the makeup, the skincare, the vibes over here, you know what I mean? So if you're somebody who was on the fence about getting the new Anastasia Primrose palette, I hope that my tutorial helped you out making your decision. This palette is a little bit more pricey, but with the blushes in it and the bigger pan sizes, I think it's totally worth the price. So yeah, definitely get your hands on the new Anastasia Primrose palette. That's all I have for you guys in today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe, leave me a comment down below. I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye guys.